Mr. Saud Bassa. Welcome, man. Yo, it's funny. Nice to meet you. Nice to finally meet you. In case you're wondering why I'm wearing flip-flops, I cut my toe the other day. So I'm trying to heal now, so I can't wear shoes. I'm going away tomorrow. So I'm getting super relaxed here, and I want you to also be relaxed and just chill. But, yo, man, it's like we're saying off air now, we've never met before.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. let me get it right. Saud Bassa.
That's good.
Okay, got it. Let me get it right. Lekker. So I'm going to start with the easy questions. I like to start with the very easy questions and the simple stuff, just ease into it. Why do they call you the criminal?
Oh, well, I'm sure you know about it.
I know Zaid told that story like 1,000 times, but I want to hear it from you though.
Okay, yeah. Look, firstly, thank you very much to Ernest for the opportunity and the platform.
Yeah.
The criminal, it's actually a sad story, but a funny one as well.
Yeah.
I was on my way to Killarney one night to go and race at Street to Stroke.
Yeah.
At the time, I had a red Sentra with nitros.
Yeah.
It was a street car that did 12.9 on nitros. I was on my way to Killarney, stopped at the Caltex garage in Killarney Gardens, and a friend of mine passed by. He stopped, and we drove together to the track. And just the robot before you get Killarney.
Which one is that? The one by the Toyota?
No, the robot for the back entrance.
Oh, for the back entrance. Okay, yeah. Oh, that last one.
The last. We're standing on that robot next to each other, and we pulled away. And we just pulled away a little bit too hard. Like, we just basically nailed in first gear and tapped off.
Yeah.
And the tires were screeching.
Yeah, of course.
And we didn't realize that there was actually a traffic officer
right behind
standing in front of us, actually. He pulled us over, and he decided to take it a bit further. I don't feel
so
like
the whole thing escalated completely out of control.
Out of control.
Yeah.
And I was actually a bit unhappy because the guy actually wrote a whole report that he had to go chasing behind us, and we almost drove people off the road and stuff like that. So it was a bit nerve-wracking because we knew that we saw in the reports that he was actually
wrong. I mean, I can't obviously condone this kind of behavior, but we've all done that.
Yeah.
We've all pulled up next to a buddy and okay, it's just a 50-meter, 100-meter dash, we're going to go quickly. We've all done it.
And it's basically that was the first time I was going to drive the car with nitros at the track. And the nitros bottle was filled, coming from the dyno and everything.
And did they see the NOS bottle as well?
Yes, he did, but he didn't really. No, it was filled, but it wasn't fitted into the
okay.
So I was ready, but so I got locked up in Tableview police station with my friend that hardly ever races.
That is just wrong place, wrong time.
That's where the criminal comes from.
It's okay. So how long did you stay in the fucking chickie for?
Well, till early the next morning. So it was pretty bad, but we met a few nice guys there. We didn't sit in a cell with lots of other people.
Okay.
Some of the.
And you hear these horror stories. So obviously you guys this is all playing through your head, my bro. As you on your way there now.
That's correct.
No
I hear
thanks.
that name
No.
every day at Killarney.
So now is that do how many people call you that?
Well, quite a lot of people because that's my name at the racetrack.
Okay, because I'm probably gonna name this Saud the Criminal Bassa. So that name's gonna stick. Okay, so that was how I heard about you, but the thing is, eventually you went from that Sentra to the Toyota.
Yes, that's correct.
And I started saying, is that the same guy? Because Zaid knows you well.
Yes.
So we've never met. So Zaid knows you well, and I've seen you around, I've seen the cars, and I always ask, is that the same guy with the thing? And he's like, yeah, that's the same guy. And then your car went from like a 14 second a normal thing to what is it now? Just give me if you were gonna describe this car to someone in 3 or 4 sentences, what would you say? And I want like the records, all that stuff. No modesty, what would you say this car's about?
Well, firstly, the first thing that I would always mention is that the car has lots of sentimental value.
What do you
mean? Sentimental value meaning that I'm 30 years old. The car has been in my family for a year longer than myself. That's where
the same car.
The same car. This exact same car. I started and I learned to drive on the exact same car. It used to belong to my aunt. So the car I raced for the first time was that same car. So I learned to drive, race everything on the car, and the car was a 20 valve. It used to be, it was a normal 1.6. It went to my cousin, it became a 20 valve, and it used to be 20 valve for long. And the options wasn't very wide for 20 valve at the time. Toyota 1.6 20 valve. There wasn't many options, and I saw potential in the VVL.
There still aren't that many, especially it just gets expensive. You want to go like the N1 setup, then it just gets crazy expensive.
I'm supposed to give you 3 to 4 sentences about
Yeah, no, but we've got time. We've got nothing but time. Okay. So it's all good.
Yeah, no, that's where
I just don't want you to hold back and be, now's not the time to be modest. I want to, because I don't know. I really don't know much of your story. So I can't sort of drop these things in there. I just know little odds and ends. So I really want you to put everything out there because people want to know.
Yeah, no, look, I started off, my first car was a twin cam. And I made it 20 valve afterwards. That was my belief. I always wanted to be one of the fastest 20 valves, and I built my 20 valve up 6-speed gearbox and stuff to the point where it could actually run with the VVLs on the street. I still used to race on the street. But it became problematic, and as I said, I started seeing the potential in the VVL motors. I saw how the centers used to run. They were used to run.
And this is before you started working on the VVLs.
Yeah, that was when I was only doing 20 valves, and I was gonna actually going to go a long path. I was gonna take the path of the 20 valve. I was gonna build a fully worked setup, but there was no one who had a setup that was proven to work.
Yeah.
There was no one to really help me and guide me.
Yeah, and then that's gonna be expensive because you're bumping your head all the time. Things don't work. You need this part.
Yeah. Then I ended up owning a Nissan Sabre, which was my first Nissan VVL. Did like 14 flat at Killarney, and it was a standard VVL engine in there.
14.0 is very good for standard setup.
Yeah, it was my first street to strip as well. So that's where it all started. The car that I have now wasn't my first car. I learned to drive with it. My first car was a twin cam, made 20 valve. The car that I have now was my aunt's car. She had it from new. It got stolen from her. It was recovered and she didn't want it back, and then my cousins had it, and that's how it became a 20 valve, and it stayed in that form.
So what does the family say about the fact that you butchered this thing? Because that is a hardly recognizable Toyota Conquest now.
Yeah, look, what I did is I took it to one of the guys in Malmesbury, someone I know for long. Charles Liederman is his name. He's used to doing conversions. So I just took the car to him, I took the 20 valve motor out, and I asked, and I sent him a dummy engine, SR20, broken engine and box.
Oh, nice. So he can take the measurements.
Yeah, just to check
mounting, all that stuff.
Yeah, whether it's gonna work.
So you didn't even know that it was gonna work when you decided to do this. No. Who else has done that setup in South Africa?
There's a few running around at the moment.
But by the time you did your one?
By the time I did it, there was nobody that I knew of.
So you couldn't phone, because I did a 16 valve in a 120Y, I was busy doing that. At the time I had the same problem. Nobody knows how to do the mountings, nobody knows how to do this. Is it going to line up? Do we need to cut here? Yeah. So that's all the questions you now have to have answered.
Yes, that's correct. And I wanted to do it with a complete Nissan and motor and gearbox complete setup. I didn't want to try and make it would be an easy way out.
For
to try and
21R or something.
Box, make the Nissan motor fit onto the Toyota box, and you wouldn't have to worry about mountings and gear levers and all that stuff.
That's what most people would have done.
Yeah, but I wanted to go the Nissan route because the Nissan motor with the box and the clutch setup, it's actually very reliable and easy. So yeah, we got the car to a point where we're actually using Nissan outer CVs, complete shafts, Nissan inner CVs, outer CVs with Nissan hubs.
It makes it way easier for parts sourcing and things like that.
It ended up being a straight, the hubs and bearings ended up being a straight fit into the car. I actually used the Nissan hubs and the Toyota bearings fitted into it as is, and we just assembled it.
What?
And I could use the Nissan outer CV on there.
That's weird.
Yeah, the mountings obviously I got fabricated, you know. SR20 mounting.
But at least something like that, if it's done right and it's done once, you don't have to look at it again. You just got the molds and now you can make others, or you use whatever one you buy.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so now the car's built by this gentleman in Malmesbury. The car's done. First 20 valve VVL conversion. What happens next?
Well,
because at that stage the car still looked like a normal car.
Yeah, no, it was completely normal. There was basically nothing done to it. The car came home with a dummy engine in it, assembled mounting brackets, mounted
Oh,
into the car.
okay.
Gear lever setup, we used the Nissan gear lever setup in there as well. I used as much as possible Nissan stuff in there to make it like a Nissan basically. You know, even Nissan radiator.
Walk me through that run. Where do you limit the car? Where do you keep the RPMs at? Where do you set the launch control?
Okay, I would say for the first run of the day, maybe the first 2 runs, I would probably not use launch control, just to figure out how the track conditions is and how your car is reacting to the track itself.
Okay.
You have to look at what tires you're running on the day. You know, if you have a bigger tire that really needs power to be able to grip, then you would obviously be revving it a bit higher or giving more throttle in launch control.
So that's cool. So you do use those first few runs. I would do the same, just to feel where the bite point is.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, look, with the current setup, it's a bit difficult because it makes so little power under 6,000 RPM that the car would probably go into a bog if I had to rev it too low and it would.
And where does the red line?
It revs to about, it can go to 9,000, but I rev it to about just over 8.5. Let's say 8,000.
Where does the power start dipping off, do you think?
My kilowatts holds from about just before 7,000 until the end.
Until 9?
Yeah. The kilowatt stays constant.
So if you needed to rev it out for whatever reason, you could?
Yes.
Okay.
I could. The torque obviously drops.
Yes.
But it holds a reasonable amount of torque, and it does hold every one of the.
So you say you shift at 8?
No, I would shift at about 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
8.5.
So anything from 6,000 RPM, you could launch it from 6,000 to 8,000. No problem.
Yeah, that's correct. I would rather go a bit lower than higher to looking at the lifespan of your clutch as well, you know. I would usually give it my all the last 2 runs for the day. The last 1 or 2 runs, you know, when you've already reached what you want to do or you've done enough runs for the day.
People don't understand also, this is real life. This isn't Forza. You know what I mean? You can't run one run after the next, run after the next, run after the next. You've got to pay for that clutch if that clutch goes. You've got to make sure to look after the engine. This is your own sweat that you put into this.
That's correct.
So, and I mean, I'm also guilty of it. You know, I look at it like it's a game, but it's not a game. It's somebody has to pay the bills for this stuff.
Yeah, that's correct. It wants to be maintained.
Yeah, so you factor that in through the course of your day, and at the end of the day, balls to the wall. We're just gonna pop the clutch at 8,000 and see what happens.
That's correct. And that's when you usually get the best run because at that time the track conditions is probably, the track is warm already. You settled your mind already. You know where the car is at its best, and that's when you actually give it your all and you know, snap change like a mad person.
Speaking of snap change, do you flat shift?
I used to flat shift.
What is the deal with that? Tell me, because I flat shifted in my old race car, but I had a spark cut.
Yeah.
But it didn't really save me time. But I know on the drags it can. So what are your thoughts on that?
Look, I can't give you the exact details as to exactly how the management systems, the more advanced type of systems work. But you get the systems that can cut the spark when flat foot shifting. Whereas with a normal management system like the Dictator, it doesn't have that feature.
But then the guys they still flat shift.
Yeah, they still flat shift, but that is where it actually takes away a little bit of the performance by flat foot shifting, because you don't have the feature to actually get the maximum out of flat.
So do you think in a standard, let's say me and you had stock standard VVL setups, 155 kilowatts, 156, they make somewhere around there. And now we're racing down the track, you drive the car, and I flat shift. Do you think the non-flat shift guy will go faster?
It's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, it is definitely possible.
Okay.
Depending on how you shift it also, you know, you
find
might find ways to how your car might react better when shifting.
Maybe one gear to the next, third to fourth might work.
Yeah.
But not second to third.
Or maybe not first to second. You know what I'm saying? Getting out of the hole, maybe sometimes you have to hit it hard and actually rev it. Like, you know, when hitting it into second with also releasing the pedal and putting down again, and not flat foot shifting. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get that push as you go into second. if you're just gonna hit it second in that spin without taking off your foot,
You're gonna wheel spin anyways.
you're gonna wheel spin, or you might end up bogging a bit and then going. Whereas if you hit it aggressively into second and give it some clutch, the car might hop better, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it changes from car to car.
Okay, so so now let's go back to your run on the start line. We're now revving, let's say, launch at 7,500.
Yeah.
Conditions are good.
Yeah, it is.
7,500 RPM, pop the clutch. What happens next? Does the car pull to the left, to the right?
I tend to get more pulling when I have much bigger tires. When I have the 24.5s on, pulls a bit more. I've seen it happen to many other guys as well. But other than that, my car is pretty much straight. It sits straight.
Okay.
I'm happy with it.
And you've got this is with the new gearbox now, eh? You've got the new gearbox in now.
Yeah.
With the built-in LSD, not the same LSD from before.
No, it's not the stock LSD. It's a proper
Okay.
50-50.
50-50 split.
Yeah.
Okay, so now up into second gear, do you flat shift into second gear?
No, I don't flat shift into second gear.
But your management does cut spark
No.
though? No, okay.
I'm running a normal dictator 60 -2, the semi-sequential one. The latest one, yeah.
Okay, so you change the second gear normally. At this stage, are you just flat? Once you've done with the first 60 foot, is that where the time is for you in your car? Because once you're done with the first and second gear shift, do you know it's a good run at that stage?
I would say yes. Look, because I also tune my own car, during the day I would make changes, which would probably gain me another 0.1 second or 1 or 2 kilometers per hour.
What kind of changes would you make?
Look,
tuning changes.
Tuning changes. Look, you might tune your car on the dyno, tune it on the road, and obviously you would check what your air fuel ratios look like and at what air fuel ratio your car might be making the most power at.
Yes,
let's say 12.
But it's not doing that under real world conditions now.
Now you're riding it on Killarney and you're not at the required air fuel ratio that you were making your max power at on the dyno.
Especially at top speed with all that wind pushing through. Exactly. There's too much air, you need to add more fuel.
That's where the adjustment actually comes. And that's where a better management system comes in, because you can log it.
Yes.
And you can view after the run exactly what happened.
And this is what I was talking to Herman about the logging, and that's one of the reasons they went to that expensive Altec system, because they can log it.
Yeah.
And he says that's one of the reasons they oftentimes have a tuner driver setup where the tuner's driving the car, because he can look at the setup and say, okay, cool, we need to add more fuel here and there.
That's good.
So obviously you now playing that role on your own car.
Yes, it's just a bit more difficult because you have to view your AFR, or you have to set maybe a GoPro on your air fuel ratio page, which catches your rev counter as well, so that you can see where the car is actually going.
But that data is your friend, eh?
Yeah.
Gotta have that data. It just makes life a lot easier afterwards.
It does.
So you flat foot the whole way through after that. At this stage, it's flat foot.
Yeah, no, it would be flat foot. I would. With a straight cut box, obviously you have the advantage of being able to shift without even touching the clutch.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I've done it before with the old engine. So yeah, I'm gonna do that with the new setup.
Okay, so you're gonna do you just breathe off the accelerator then and then no clutches like that, or what?
Just snap the gear in like it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously just use clutch on the start line for first gear. And the first few runs I'll be using clutch like I would normally.
Just to dial in, get used to it.
Maybe at the end of the day just take a wild run and just launch, and after that there's no more clutch involved.
Yeah.
You can just basically shift like you want to without using clutch.
But your car seems to be quite reliable on a good day. You can run the car most with like the whole day.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen you a few times, just the car's running the whole time.
Yeah, I know. I'm very thankful for that. Yeah, that's
okay. So,
good.
Any other secrets about your car that you want to tell us? Anything that I might not have missed, I might not have asked. Anything that you want to share with us?
Secrets? What secret was it?
Okay, so for the guys that are out there, that because there's a lot of guys out there looking at you going, that's what I want. That's what I'm aspiring to, or I want his cams. I want to run this setup or component, because a lot of guys aren't as hardcore as you and me that want to necessarily go the whole 9 yards and build this track monster. They just want their daily to have certain elements of that track monster. Okay. So for a guy that's got a road 20 valve or road VVL, what would you recommend? What are the steps that you would say? What are the first mods based on price and reliability, and what like the first tier of mods, stage 1 type of thing, stage 2, stage 3? What would you recommend in that sense?
Okay, if you're looking at a car that should stay on pump fuel, you can drive it to work and back every day, which is, by the way, with the Conquest, you're not going to believe this.
No ways.
Okay, with the Conquest VVL setup,
Yeah.
the first year of driving it, I used to drive it to work and back every day. I did 40,000.
How?
I did
How?
40,000 kilometers on the Easter VVL with a VVL motor in there in 1 year. Yeah.
That's crazy. But you obviously ran the pump fuel on during the day, and then
Yeah,
the good stuff.
At the time, the compression wasn't as high, so it didn't really need methanol and stuff like that to it wouldn't gain with better fuels. So you just use like an octane booster or 10 or 20% ethanol mix to just boost it up a little bit when you go and race it. But the engine could deliver most of its power on.
And how much power was it making at that stage?
At that stage, we were looking at about 170, 180 kilowatts, which is more or less what I offer to the guys at the moment. If you look at, you want to drive the car daily, so you probably don't want the compression up there.
CK Outlaws. I thought CK Outlaws was an events company.
Look, it's not really an events company. I'm going to give you a bit of background about what it is. At the time, Saldanha Airfield West Coast Racing started hosting private events, you know.
I remember,
you get the 800 meter drag event, the main event. It used to be in Easter as well.
And CK Outlaws was running it, so that's...
No, not at all. We had nothing to do with it. We were basically nothing. There was nothing. CK Outlaws had nothing to do with it. We only used to go to the events and attend the normal events. And then they started hosting private events with the help of West Coast Municipality, the West Coast Racing, the company.
Good guys, Lawton and the guys.
Yeah, Lawton and Grant.
Shout out to Lawton and Grant.
Of course. Yeah, they get the airfield every first Sunday of the month to be able to host a private event. Obviously limited amount of spectators and racers because the airfield isn't set up to accommodate large thousands amount of people where you have to actually put up fencing.
So that place suffers when there's a crowd there. They need to set things up.
Set it up. The airfield needs to close down for the weekend. You know,
so whereas with the privates, none of that's necessary.
None of it's necessary. But obviously, there's limits to it.
And there's planes that land from time to time, apparently.
We've had it once in like 5 events.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, not really. So yeah, we started attending these events. Found it very nice. You know, it's a very free vibe. You know, to join the private events, and then we inquired from West Coast Racing if it's possible that we could maybe host an event because we saw the opportunity in hosting a nice event because we noticed that people actually enjoy it. They like the vibe. And that's where the name actually came in. That's where we called it CK Outlaws. You know, you get this group, Street Outlaws. Now CK is actually because we're from Malmesbury. So the Malmesbury registration is CK.
Yes.
And that's where CK Outlaws came in. So we just used that name for our first event. And then the first event was a success. We got an opportunity to host another event. And that's how the group actually started to become a bit famous.
Okay, so then there's CK Outlaws, the group. Now, how does CK Outlaws tie in with you and your company and your tuning and your car and what kind of stuff?
Look, it's because most of the guys involved in building my own car and guys in the group cars is within the same group. You know, they're all part of CK Outlaws. The Marshall team that ran the events, many of them is the guys who spend nights with me building my race car and I tune their cars. So it became
what's that
one
guy
thing.
with the white Sentra? He's one of your guys, isn't it? I did a racer profile on him a while ago with a white Sentra. What's his name He's one of the Seeker Outlaws. Anyways, I'm starting to now make connected dots.
White centers.
Yeah.
Seeker Outlaws.
Okay,
There's
nice.
Quite a few of them. So yeah, that's where Seeker Outlaws came from. The 800-meter drag races is where most of the people know us from.
So it's a group of friends into the same car, help each other out, tune each other's cars, etc., etc.
Yeah, and basically help each other to make the event a success. That would be a main thing.
But I've heard good things about the Seeker Outlaw events. There's always been positive feedback afterwards. There's always been guys having good times afterwards. So, are you guys going to be doing more of that or what?
It's been good. Look, to be honest, it might sound like I'm going to criticize the other guys who also host events, but our event is unique in the sense of we try to cater for the smaller guys as well. You know, we might have 100 entries for the day, and more than 50 of them will be four-cylinder NA guys. And we would go as far as...
Because those guys don't get to shine at the big Saldanha events, unfortunately. Because everybody wants to see 300Ks up, bro. We're not interested in four-cylinder cars in those days.
Yeah, that's true. And we also go to the extent where we actually divide the four-cylinder NA class for the competition to be more reasonable.
Of course.
Like we divide it into sub classes.
Yeah, which can't happen on a normal day because there's just too many cars.
Exactly.
For sure.
So we would have maybe the above 2 liters, let's say 2.1 and up, racing against each other. And each class would have their trophy and also prize money in the mix. And that would all come from racer and spectator entries. So we try to give back to the racers. As a racer in today's life, you don't get much back.
No,
you don't get anything back.
You get nothing back. You all need to spend.
So, exactly. I mean, what do you actually get for winning, for being the fastest?
People often ask me, like, what do you get for that? Do you get prizes for racing? No, none of that shit.
Yeah, so for our event, doesn't really generate millions or anything like that. You know, the bet that we make, we actually put it back into the races, and we invest into the group as well. You know, equipment to make the next event go easier. Like we have a lot of equipment to make the events work. We don't need to go higher and
Yatta works. That's the guy. Is that one of your buddies?
Yatta, yeah, I
yes,
know Yatta.
That's the name. That's the name. Sorry, it just came to me now.
Yeah.
So he's one of your guys as well, eh?
No, he doesn't tune with me.
Okay.
He doesn't tune with me. I don't actually know why you would have a Seeker Outlaw.
No, maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm confused. Okay, so you guys, but the thing is, that is the way a lot of competitions start off, where they start pumping back in, and then it gets big and things get crazy, and then people get greedy. You know how the story ends.
Our racers, I can proudly say that the guys who race at our events, they love us, and that's because you get there's no times and speeds.
Is it heads up?
It's heads up.
Okay, so it's top end heads up racing.
It's heads up racing.
Okay.
And we have knockout rounds as well.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
I didn't know this.
It's not a whole knockout, not the whole event is a knockout. You maybe start racing at 12 until 3 it will be free racing, and from 3 till 5 you'll have knockouts.
But this isn't a spectator driven event. This is a racer focused event.
I would say both.
Okay.
I would really say both in that regard. The spectators do play a big role in it, because without them, you know, we're not really anything.
Yeah.
And each individual brings his certain following, or everyone who follows him will come and race there for the day because he is actually going to be there. So yeah, look, it's fun because at the end of the day, the guys will get some prize money. Sometimes you might win enough money back to cover your whole days of your day of expenses. I mean, to go race,
and that's a win.
Cost now.
That's a win.
I mean,
that's a win.
A race day. I don't even know. Talk about.
Well, towing your car down there.
Towing your car there. Race fuel. You're gonna service your car. Maybe you're gonna put it on the dyno as well. You have to.
I did a track day the other day with somebody else's car, and I rented. I paid some money to rent it as well. The guy I used to coach this guy to race with his team, whatever. So I rented the car for the day, and just those odds and ends started adding up. And I thought, yes, how do guys race nowadays in this economy? It's nuts.
It's ridiculous.
Because you must buy extra. I need a little bit of extra fuel. Then I needed to maybe get an octane booster. Then I must go buy this little thing, and it's all just tiny little things, but they all add up at the end of the day.
All add up, yeah. Yeah, it all depends if you.
But now you're racing at Sultana, which is far away.
It's further as well. Yeah. So it's pretty far to go and race. But I mean, it's once or twice a year that we actually go there. It's a different vibe, and you get to run 800 meters, you know.
And a lot of the guys, that's what the guys want. We've spoken about this at length. The guys want that top end runs.
Yeah, they want to run top end.
I mean, we saw what happened here in Cape Town, you know, and now I spoke to JP Smith and they said they're going to look into it. As far as I know, nothing's happened yet, so maybe we can, that conversation can get updated. But the top end thing, there's a definite, the market is smaller, obviously, but there is a market for it, and there's a group of guys that want that specific event. And I don't think it's fair for guys to be lumped into the same category as drag racers that you've already now got your track, so shut up kind of thing. And I think that attitude has fallen away over the last couple of months and years. Because people realize there are different types of sports, there's different versions of different sports. And the 800 meter is a different version of the drag racing event, and some guys want that specific version.
That's correct. Look, I was also involved with the meetings with Killarney, between Killarney, JP Smith, and the City of Cape Town and stuff like that.
What's the latest on that?
The last time we did some testing at Killarney. Thanks. Obviously, because I'm with CK Outlaws and I'm a racer there. So
did you guys test the 800 meters?
No, we were looking to get a longer stretch at Killarney. So we used the back straight to see what we can do.
And? Which way? The right way or the wrong way?
The wrong way.
Okay. So you come out of 5 and then now you got the back straight ahead of you. For those guys that don't know, it's like when you're coming from the track and you leave the track, the back straight will now run with the drag strip. So you're running with the drag strip but on the other section.
Against the drag strip.
So that's the right way according to the circuit.
From the one corner to the
other. From the bottom towards the drag start.
Yeah, we got in about 600 meters.
Yeah, that whole section, I measured that section. I think it's only 700 odd meters long.
Yeah, so you have to think of the braking space.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, 800 meters is
They used to do 600 meters there back in the day.
Yeah.
But the GTI Jamboree, like in early 2000s, they used to have 600 meter runs. But the cars weren't as fast then.
Yeah.
I was telling someone the other night, there were a few VR6s on Wednesday night. And it was that 600 meter event that I went to, early 2000s, and the VR6 there were a couple of VR6s, they could have been in the 90s actually. There were a couple of VR6s there with cone filters and stuff, and those were the fast cars.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 121 kilowatt car, and that's the fastest car, one of the fastest cars. There may be an M3 here and there kind of thing. But the game's moved on now.
Yeah, exactly.
So that the speeds the guys are going to do over 600 meters and be way flipping high.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to get the 800 meter track. They've looked everywhere they can. Abandoned airfields.
We've been trying this for years.
Yeah,
so the other option, and I spoke to a couple of guys about this before the meeting, and then after, and they're looking at it now as well, I've heard, is to extend the back straight into that dump on the other side.
Yeah.
So go straight through, and the thing is, it would help if they did that. It would help because it would also make the back straight safer. Because a couple of guys have crashed now at the bottom of the back straight.
Okay.
Whereas before, you're doing 220 top end there. There's guys now that can do 280 with their modified race cars.
Yes.
And I've gone and my fastest on the back straight was 242. And I remember thinking, yo, something was wrong now, I'm pretty screwed. Because you don't realize that distance from the top of that corner to the wall is short. Where you guys park. That's not a lot of distance there. So what if they could extend that into the dump on the other side? You have your 800 meter thing sorted out, and it's a safer option for the guys to race on. But is that a possibility or what?
I don't think so. That's why we did the testing, so we could give the feedback. And I was actually asked to bring the cars around for testing, so I had a variety of cars to choose from. So I had like 2 4-cylinder inners there. I had a Golf 7 GTI. They had a variety of cars for different types of feedbacks. And it was a definite no-go. From my side, it was a no-go.
On the existing setup, without extending it?
Yeah, without extending it. But even with extending
it's bumpy as well, eh?
It's bumpy as well, which isn't a big problem because that you can sort out. But
that's narrow.
Having to really
there's trees on the side.
Yeah.
I mean, if you crash on that section there, I've crashed pretty much everywhere in the track except there, and I'm not proud of that. But the thing is, like, if you crash there, you got a real problem because there's hard walls up close.
Yeah.
There's trees on the side. The car's gonna do that across the track.
Yeah.
It's not gonna at the current setup. If something happens, now someone's gonna spear off, and you're probably gonna miss them. There's
Yeah.
space to evade.
Yes.
But on that back straight, if somebody crashes, there's someone else gonna crash into them.
Yeah, that's correct. No, I think that the 800 meters won't work there. We gave it a try. We were looking to maybe get it down to 600 or 700 meters, but it wouldn't be of purpose. You would still want the 800 meter stretch.
And what about a rolling start coming out of the turn 5 out of turn 4?
We've tried it.
Is it?
Yeah, the problem is the braking space, man. You know, getting to the next turn, seeing that turn in front of you,
Yeah.
you have to brake really hard to
Yeah.
make it for that
Yeah.
bend. To get a 600 meters in, a clean 600 meters
Where
of
must you brake?
acceleration.
Did you guys check the brake markers?
Yeah, we checked the brake markers, we measured. We, up until we were standing in turn 5 and launching already. It just didn't work. It's too short. And even if you have to make it longer, you're gonna have to add the braking space as well, because
Yeah.
you can go even faster. And I mean, we're not even the fastest of cars.
No,
What about
the
the guy
GTR
who
was
can
10-second thing or
How are they gonna stop?
300 k's an hour down there.
Look at Saldanha. We do the 800 meters and we have about 600 meters braking space, and it is hard already for some cars to brake over there.
Some guys have got over.
Yeah, so you need at least maybe 2 kilometer stretch to be able to run a good decent 800 meters.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's not gonna happen.
not locally, not easily.
Man.
But yeah, we will hope for the best.
We can't end on this note, bro. It's a depressing note to end on.
Yeah, look, we have a few 800 meter events coming up soon.
Who's this
At
now?
Saldanha.
Okay.
There's one event
Can't they
coming
extend that
down.
airfield?
Look, the airfield is not much of a problem, but we've had 1 or 2 cars over the years that's
Yes.
really gone through there.
But
due
that's
to-
failure though.
That's failure, or guys not realizing that they're over the finish line already, or a brake failure, or
Yeah.
whatever, you know. But on normal, I mean, guys have done 340 down there with GTRs from Joburg and they've stopped. So you don't have an excuse doing 220 or 280 and not being able to stop, you know. But I see the airfield as it's still okay. It's a bit of a change also, different vibe. You get out of Cape Town. You
And the
go
Saldanha crowd is super intense. Eh? They're in it to win it.
Yeah.
They are committed to the cause. So that's also nice to go there and also give them a show on that side as well.
Definitely.
But now with your tires, isn't your braking a bit more difficult on the soft tires?
No, we don't do the full slicks on the 800.
Okay.
Because of the surface over there, the surface is very rough. So it'll basically eat your tires.
And there's no point in trying to get that launch, really. You just want to get it going.
Yeah, it's not really. So we'll probably just run semi-slicks over there. And that'll be it.
I'm just thinking about where else in Cape Town, but there's nothing when we've looked.
No, there's nothing at the moment. They were busy at the wing field.
Yes,
you know.
that must not always been the talk.
Yeah, Kilani took a try at they went there.
Oh wow.
Approached him as well, and it was a no-go. Definite no-go.
Really?
Yeah, apparently they're building some base, Air Force base or something on the one half of the
But all
place.
the wars that we're busy fighting.
And also the ground has been damaged so much that you're gonna have to basically start from scratch as well. Yeah.
Because that Wingfield was in 30 years ago now? 20 years, 25 years ago now? Yeah, so I mean, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yo, now you got me thinking, bro. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, well, okay, as I said, we have few events this time of the year.
When's the next
Got
CK
the-
Outlaws event?
The CK Outlaws next one will be in the beginning of October.
Beginning of
You're most
October. Okay.
welcome, of course.
Okay, thanks. Man.
There's one in September. Auto was guys is hosting that.
Gaby.
one.
Gaby and the
Yeah,
boys.
and that's in September. The first Sunday in September, and then we have in October, and November will be the main event. So it's 2 nice events coming up before the actual main event.
Yeah.
Remember, the main event is the only one where you have the opportunity to break a record or to run an official speed.
The others is like practice events type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Saldanha event's one of the highlights of my calendar. I'm put there every year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a great event. I mean,
Yeah.
and the thing is, the Joburg guys are getting way more involved now.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I'm not. It just seems like there's not a lot of our Cape Town guys for the Joburg guys, especially not the top like 3.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the turbo and the GTR guys up there.
They're running some crazy setups like Stelios and those guys. What?
That is pretty crazy.
Because I mean, if you look at our guys, like Suspect and the XR6 TT and all those guys, I mean, they are very fast cars.
Yeah.
Very fast cars. 1,000 horsepower plus.
I mean, we had a record of what, 280, and that guys came down and smashed it over 320, 330 kilometers per hour. So.
But that's the formula. I think 4-wheel drive with that kind of power, GTR, that's the formula. You have to run 4-wheel drive, I think, with that kind of power. Otherwise, you're just wheel spinning all the way up the strip.
That's true.
Anyways, okay. So now we'll just splice this in with the other one and then end it like that.
No
Oh yeah, one more thing. Have you got a shout out for Niaz by any chance? Liberable?
Yes. Oh.
I thought you guys were. Was I cut this part out or?
No. It's fine. Let's give him some exposure. before he goes all emotional.
Oh, I didn't say it, Mr. Liberable. I didn't say that at all.
Oh no. No, Ernest asked me whether me and Niaz has real beef or whether we just always tramping on each other's toes for the fun. So I told him the truth.
There's
Definitely
real beef.
Real beef. Spiced beef. No, I love that guy.
That's a good dude.
Yeah.
I'm actually seeing him on Friday, so shout out to Niaz. I'll see you on Friday.
Liberable out. Here we go.
Yes, let's end it like that.